Right, today we have a new formula. We have continuous compound, which introduces this E value. So this number E here, it's a number, okay? If I look on my calculator, I'm going to see this that says E to the X. So if I were to type in E to the first, so I'm going to hit the number 1 for the exponent, and then I'm going to hit the green button and then this button. And this gives me an approximation for E. Okay, that's about what E is equal to. Okay, we're going to be using that value in these calculations for anything that says continuous compound. So in this first example, we're dealing with a principal of 1,000. You have 3 investment options. So we have option A, which is 6% interest annually. Option B, which is 5% compounded monthly, and option C, 4% compounded continuously. So we want to think about our different formulas we learned. We learned our simple interest, which is going to be the first one. We learned our compounded, which is going to be this formula, and now we have a new formula for continuous. Identify the interest formulas used for each type and identify them as linear or exponential. So we have linear is when we are not having an exponent, right? Our variables are just raised to the first power. So this one is linear. And then these two both have our t, our years, in the exponent. So both of these are going to be exponential. Okay, this actually doesn't say which option is the better option, but that was what we should do for this problem. So we're going to go ahead and write out our different options. So here we have $1,000. 1 plus 0.06, and let's just say we are going to invest it for 1 year. Okay, so if I just invest this for 1 year, we're going to have 0.06 plus 1, and we're going to multiply by 1,000. We'll have 1,060. Option B, if I just invest for 1 year, we're compounding monthly, so our n is 12, and it's going to be 12 times 1 for the exponent. So again, our steps for this, we do what's inside the parentheses first, we do our division, we add 1, and now we take care of our exponent, which is 12, and then we multiply by 1,000. So I have $1,061.68. Option C, we're going to have 1,000 times e raised to the 0.0. Oh, I just realized I made a mistake. Right here, I was supposed to change my rate, and I didn't do that. This rate was 5%, so I made a mistake. We need to change this. Let's go back. Okay, so $1,051.16. Right, and for this one, this exponent would just end up being 0.04. So I'm going to put 0.04 in my calculator. I'm going to hit the second button and then this one, and then I'm going to multiply my answer by 1,000. So 1,040.81. So out of these options, option A gave us the most money. That was just for 1 year. Okay, example 2. The value of a particular investment follows a pattern of exponential growth. In the year 2000, you invested money in a money market account. The value of your investment t years after 2000 is given by the exponential growth model, and they give us this function here. how much did you initially invest in the account? So if we look at our formula, what's in the spot for P? 4,550 is in the spot for P. So that's how much I initially invested. What is my interest rate? It says 0.065 where the R goes. So that's the same as 6.5%. In which year, 2010, 11, 12, or 13, will the account be worth approximately 9,301? So if I did 2010, my T value would be 10 because it says from 2000 on. So I'm going to use the formula P times E raised to the 0.065. In this case, my T would be 10. Okay, like we talked about earlier, it's helpful to get that exponent simplified. So we're going to multiply. We have our exponent. Once we have our exponent, we're going to hit second and then this green button. Okay, so that takes care of this part. And now we're going to multiply by our principal. So this gives us 8,715.71. So that's not it. If I pick 2020, oh, sorry, I'm not going to 2020, 2011, then my T is 11. So again, my steps in my calculator, 0.065 times 11 equals, I'm going to raise e to that power, and then I'm going to multiply. So this one gives me 9,301.05. So I'm not going to waste time going any farther than that because this gives me the correct answer, right? 9,301. So I could try the other ones, but I already found the right one, so why waste time plugging the rest in? Okay, example 3, calculate the final amount for $1,000 earning 7.6%. So we need to make sure we change this to our rate correctly. Compounded continuously for 8 years, that's going to be our T. So $1,000 times E raised to the 0.76 times 8. We'll do our exponent first. We'll hit the second button to get to the E, and then we hit times 1,000. $1,836.75.